Melamed. Shenema Parsha Zu Bahakel. This teaches us that this parsha was said Bahakel, when everybody gathered. That's why it doesn't say Daber B'nai Yisrael, speak to B'nai Yisrael. Because that would be mashma. How was the regular teaching of everything to B'nai Yisrael was done? First, Moshe called Aaron, then he called Aaron, he taught it to Aaron's sons, then he taught it to the 70 elders, and then he taught it to the rest of B'nai Yisrael. Here, this whole parasha was said differently. Everybody was gathered together. That's why it says, Dabel Kol Hadas B'nai Yisrael, the entire congregation of B'nai Yisrael. Everybody had to be gathered together, and Moshe Rabbeinu told all the mitzvahs in this week's parasha in front of everybody. Not on the regular thing, just first Aaron, then sons of Aaron, then the 70 elders, and then the rest of B'nai Yisrael. No, everybody was told everybody together. Right? Everybody was gathered, 600,000 people together. Okay, now why was that? Mipnei sheroiv gufei Torah tluim ba. Most of the important principles of the Torah are are mentioned over here. It doesn't mean just a mention, it means all these mitzvahs mentioned over here are major principles, major which is not just principles, major foundations. The mitzvahs are foundations of Yiddishkeit, of the Jewish religion. Okay, Kadoshim to you. Right? He's separated from immorality. That's why he says Kadoshim. Rashi says the term Kadoshim always refers to always used in reference to separating from forbidden marriages, from immorality. Umina Avera. Shekol Mokum, right?
From Averas.
Right. Shekol Mokum Shata Moitze Geda Avera. Every time you find a distancing, a fence, literally, to keep away from immorality, Ato Moitze Kedusha. That is, you find Kedusha. Kedusha means keep yourself separate, keep yourself aloof from Averis.
Yeah.
Now that means, and that is used, according to the way Rashi learns, this is said specifically with regard to immorality. How do you say so? Rashi says, where do you find a similar thing? Isha, so Rashi gives examples where the Torah tells us keep away from immorality, and as a result be holy. Where's that? You find it in Parshas, next week's Parsha, Parshas Emor. Isha, lo yikachu, Isha b'usham Isha lo yikachu. Ani Hashem mekadishchem, I am Hashem, you're the one who sanctifies you. Whereas if you keep to that, what I tell you, keep away, the Kohen shouldn't marry a divorcee, or similarly, he mustn't marry a woman who has been involved in a forbidden union, forbidden marriage, Isha Zono, Chalolo. Okay? Then the person does that, Kohen does this, Ani Hashem Mekadishchem, I am Hashem who sanctifies you.
Lo Yechalu Zaroi. You should not profane.
Lo Yechalel Zaroi, right? He shall not profane his. Yeah? Ani Hashem Mekadishoi. I am Hashem who sanctifies him.
Yeah. Kedoshim here.
Right? Again, all these psukim are mentioned in reference to the Kohanim. That the Kohanim should be holy. What? Like a Kohen God as well. Okay?
Yeah.
So all these you see. So Rashi learns that when the Torah says over here, Kedoshim to you, this is telling you in reference to last week's the previous parasha, Achrei Mos. The end of Achrei Mos mentions all the marriages, forbidden kind of relationships, which all the things, the kind of relationships which the Torah forbids. Torah puts a prohibition on them. And here the Torah is telling you, Kedoshim to you, keep well away from them. Let's make exeris, the various exeris which Chazal made in order to keep away. Besides, the one Yevamah says, for instance, There's what's called Shniyos La'arayas, secondary level Arayas, which means even though the Torah, not the ones which the Torah prohibited, which the Chachamim prohibited. Why? Because the Chachamim said, I want to make sure you don't keep away from these. The Torah prohibitions, therefore the Chachamim added other prohibitions in order to make sure you keep away from the others. Or something, there's other things like Yichud, right? People are not necessarily aware of this Issa. A person mustn't be alone with another married woman, right?
Yes.
Why is that? Because Yerushalyim shouldn't come to have relations with this woman. Okay, so the Issa Torah is to have relations. Issa Yichud is only a Drabbana. Okay.
That's a point. The Torah does discuss it's an abomination for man to have relations with another man.
Yes.
So people think that it's genetic or it's born with this.
Not true at all. A person brings himself upon this thing. In fact, there's not even a Yetzer Hara for it. As opposed to a man, what they call a heterosexual relationship, a person has a taiva, a man has a taiva towards a woman, and therefore he has to be careful, obviously, only with his own wife and not with others. Okay, but a person will be attracted to a woman. There's nothing whatsoever for a man to be attracted to another man. There's no such thing. And if a person does have it, he has to control himself and keep himself in an environment that's away from such things and away from people, and an environment that Chas v'Shalom are enticing him to such things. But a person naturally does not have such a type.
So why does the Torah bring it up?
The Torah says it's forbidden, right? I'm not saying things. The Torah says the things. The Torah says you mustn't eat worms. A person doesn't have an attraction to eat worms. Nevertheless, the Torah says things, because there are people who will, even though there's no desire, lust to eat worms, people will still eat worms. Right? So the Torah says you mustn't eat worms. Okay? It doesn't mean, otherwise, the Torah puts prohibitions even on things which are not, the person doesn't have a lust for, it doesn't have a desire for. But, okay?
A person does have nisyonos, some people have nisyonos.
Yeah, some people have nisyonos, but I'm saying that the aside, a person, it was in a natural, there's no such thing as a natural person to have a lust for a man-to-man relationship.
So what's the person who puts himself in a Torah environment? Does he protect himself from this?
Yeah, whatever. That's for sure.
Torah protection.
Generally, what where these things come up is men who are Baalei Taiva, right? And in an environment where they can't have relationship with a woman, so they bring upon themselves this Taiva to have relations with men. Generally, obviously, most times these people are not necessarily 100% normal either. It doesn't necessarily have to be so. If normal people would necessarily bring upon themselves these relations. Right, of course. Okay.
Let's continue.
Yeah, Pasuk Gimel.
Ish.
Oh, by the way, I just want to make a point over here. The Ramban disagrees with Rashi, and Ramban says the mitzvah Kadoshim Tiyu, right, be holy, is a general mitzvah, not specifically referring to immorality, that in whatever we do, right, a person like is an Indian of having, comes Shabbos, let's say, having special food on Shabbos, but he doesn't have to overeat. Or similarly, other things. There's certain things which are permitted to do, right? But there's certain, one has to make sure to eat and drink for our health, to eat and drink in a healthy manner, but not to overindulge. And that's the mitzvah of Kadoshim Tiyu. Kadesh atzmacha b'mutalach. Sanctify yourself even what's permitted to you. In other words, that a person's allowed to eat. A person can eat pizza, steak, whatever. That doesn't mean a person should eat it. He may be permitted to eat it. But particularly if it's not good, it's going to cause him obesity and overweight, right? So a person should be limited in how much pizza he eats. Okay? So how much meat or other fattening foods or things like that. A person should be eat in a moderate way. That's according to Ramban, that's the mitzvah over here. Kadesh atzmacha b'mutalach.
Yeah.
Okay, Pasuk Gimel.
איש אימו בבית צבאו, וחודר משפיע,
There's Shabsosai Tishmaru.
שבס שגול, הנה השם לקחת. He stole it already.
How did he start? Anyway, let's carry on. I have to call it to one. Okay, I don't think he started yet. Okay, Ish Imoy Va'oviv Tiro. Each man among you shall fear his mother and his father. Okay, now fear doesn't mean necessarily fear as in fright. Should be frightened of his parents. It means more like revere, right? They should have respect, that they should be afraid of going against their will. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what it means. It's reverence. That's the term used in English, right? Right? Your parents, right? You're not afraid of them, are you? I hope not, right? But you don't want to. If they say to ask you to do something, you should hear it. That you chas v'shalom, you should be afraid to go against their will. Okay? Not because they're going to give you necessarily a punishment or something as a result of that, and therefore you're frightened of them. No, but because they are your parents and you feel respect towards them, therefore you wouldn't dare go against their will. For instance, that's what we're referring to over here. Each man among you shall fear his mother and his father. There's Shabsosai Tishmaru, but my Shabbos you shall keep, you shall guard. Which Chazal Rashi is going to point out over here, that even though you've got a chiyuv to revere your parents, and whatever they tell you you've got to do, but what happens chas v'sholem, your parents tell you chas v'sholem to be machal Shabbos, what do you have to do?
Say no.
Why? You've got a chiyuv to revere your parents, not to go against their will. The answer is Shabsosai, my Shabbos. Kosh Baruch says, you've got to listen to me though. And if they tell you to go against my will, you've got to listen to HaKodesh Baruch Hu, not to your parents. Divrei hara v'divrei hatalmid divrei nishayim. That's what I would say from over here. If the master says one thing and the Talmud, the disciple, the student says another thing, who do you listen to?
The master.
Right? So if HaKodesh Baruch Hu, the master of all of us, says do one thing, keep Shabbos, and the person's parents say don't keep Shabbos, who do you listen to? Right? So that's what we learn out from here. Ani Hashem Elokeichem, I am Hashem your God. That's what Rashi says. Ato v'avicha chayov michleid. Let's see Rashi here.
Which one?
Pasuk Gimel. Ish imoy v'aviv tiro.
Kol echad mekem tiro. Each one of the parents you should fear.
Tiro aviv v'imo. Should each one among you? No, so Rashi is bothered by the grammar of this pasuk. If you're familiar, there's a second person and third person. What do you mean this phrase? Tiro means you shall fear, right? So what we should say, Ish in imcha va'avicha tiro. You, right? Your mother and your father, you shall fear, right? Or imchem va'avichem tiro. So what means? What does it mean? Ish oviv, his mother and his mother and his father. It should say your mother, your father. So Rashi explains it. You know what it means? Kol echad mikem, all among those among you, everyone among you shall fear his father and his mother. Zeu pshuta. That is the portion to pshat. Umidrashoi, and it's midrashic explanation. Eini elo ish. Right, all I know that a man is obliged to fear his mother and his father. Isha minayin. How do I know that a woman is also obliged to revere her parents? Kishaima tira'u. In the plural, harikam shnaim. You, both. You plural have to, means, it means both men and women. In kein loma nema ish. Why does it say the man? Man has to fear his mother and mashma, not a woman. Shal ish sipek b'yodeh lasos. אבל איש רשוס אחרים עליה. Okay? A man, right, always has the opportunity because he is in control of his wife, right? And therefore, if the man decides, I'm going to take care of my parents now, so the wife has to follow. But the other way around, what say the wife, her parents say, you know, you're coming to us for this Shabbos, aren't you? Right? And the husband says, no, I don't want to go. I want to go somewhere else, or I want to stay at home. What do? What should the wife do? Her husband says, we're staying home for Shabbos. And the parents say, no, you're coming to us for Shabbos. Shouldn't happen. Make sure it shouldn't happen, such a situation. But chas v'shalom, it does happen such a situation. What's the wife got to do?
Listen to her parents.
No, listen to her husband. But never enforce such a thing. Avoid such a thing to enforce such a thing. If a wife wants to go to...
It's not a thing to do.
Yeah, whatever. If it's a thing, you don't cause unnecessary strife or whatever. If you have a valid reason, you can convince your wife, you know, you should stay at home, whatever. I'm not going into that. But in general, a man should be careful if his wife, or her parents want something, and obviously the wife will naturally want to listen to her parents, he should try and avoid causing a conflict between him and his parents. Right?
Compromise.
Yeah, make a compromise or whatever. But anyway, if, whatever the reason is, Me'ikar Din, no, the husband insists, let's take an example, we're staying home for Shabbos, and her parents say no, she says, no, we insist, we want you to come for Shabbos. So the wife is in a little bit of a quandary now. The halacha is, she's got to listen to her husband, not to her parents. And that's why it mentions, the Pasuk mentions over here, Ish, a man, must fear his parents, right? Meaning, because a man always has the situation where he must listen to his parents. Whereas the wife is not always in such a situation, because sometimes she must listen to her husband. Okay. Next Rashi. Ish oviv imoy va'oviv tiro. Kan hiktim eim la'av. Right? You have to read Rashi here?
Here proceeds.
The Torah puts the father, the mother before the mother. The mother before the father, sorry. If he should go lefonov. Right, because HaKodesh Baruch Hu knows that's a natural thing. Shaben Yores Aviv Yosem Imai. Right, the son fears his father normally more than his mother. Right, the classic situation, right? Right, the son was playing around wild, and he broke the expensive $200 vase. Okay, so what's the mother say? Does she give the patch to the child?
No.
She says, you wait, Moshe, till your father comes home. Right? He's going to give it to you. Why is that? Because generally the father is the more disciplinary of the parents. The father is more disciplinary than the mother, and the mother is softer, and she gives the cuddles to the kid. Right? The father can also cuddle the kid. But the Maisa, that's the way, the general thing is. The soft, loving side of the parents